What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I want to break down something with SPY, Tsla, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what's happening with the economic calendar moving forward, what you should be watching for as time progresses for the markets. But before I break down most information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am personally not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull and deposit $500, you're guaranteed 20 free stocks. Deposit $25,000 or more, you're guaranteed 75 of them, and offer ends in just a couple of days. Anyways, for SPY, we got not only a bearish divergence developed right over here, but we're trying to hold this 50 EMA at 533. We'll have to see if this holds for SPY or not. If we lose this, there's going to be a dip coming. If we hold this, we could try to rebound. So I'll be watching this very, very carefully. But before I break more details about this, I want to talk about some news and data real quick. So firstly, for the data, today is Monday, June 10th, 2024. At 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the 3-month and 6-month bill auctions coming out. This is going to be very important for how the market ends up moving. So we'll see what happens with them. This may cause somewhat of a move. And then for more news about the markets, Nvidia just did its stock split. So this is now reflecting on the share price. We're currently trading at about $120 a piece. It's dipping a little bit so far, and we'll have to see how things end up holding up. Don't forget that we also have Jerome Powell giving a speech, at least on Wednesday when we have the FOMC meeting, the next update. So we have FOMC coming out for the week in a couple of days. That's going to be very important, especially after we have CPI come out. Now, GameStop kind of pumped and dumped. It's still currently kind of flat right now, but it still has some key support. After getting 17 halts just during the session of Friday, so that's going to be very important. We'll see how things go. There's been a lot of other important things going on, like elections in the EU and such, but that's pretty much it, at least for news for the overall markets. And then we also have Elon Musk's pay deal. The pay package is going to be voted upon by shareholders. Tesla has its stockholder vote in just a couple of days. That's going to be very important for them. And finally, we also have Apple's Worldwide Developers Conference that's going to be kicking off today, Monday, June 10th. That's going to be important too. We'll see what they end up announcing. So we'll see if this causes big moves or not. But that's what I'm seeing, at least for the time being. So what's happening to the markets? The market's kind of like in a tight phase right now. We're kind of going back and forth between supply and demand. We have broken below this key trend line of support, however, so it's not the best of signs, at least for now on SPY. But despite that, I want to make it very clear that SPY is trying to hold this 533 support. If we lose this, there's going to be a dip or risk of us dipping down to about 531.5. If that fails us, I'll be looking at our 200 EMA at 529, and then we should bounce off one of those levels. But in my personal opinion, I'll be watching resistance at 534 and 535. We could pop a bit and start dropping. I'll be watching 533 if we lose that. 531.5 is coming, followed by 529, and then we'll see if we get a bounce off those levels or not. But that's what I'm basically seeing, at least for the time being. That's going to be very important for how things end up moving. But that's what I'm seeing, at least for now, at least for SPY. There is a risk of this dipping a little bit lower if we lose 533. So watch 531.5 as a key level. For Nvidia, it's kind of dipping a bit. It's currently down about almost 1%. I didn't say that when this ends up happening with the stock split, there's still that risk of the technicals kind of shifting a bit. Now, we're going to be watching our supports at 119.8. That's going to be our 50 EMA. If we lose this, I'll be looking at 117, followed by the 115 to 116 areas next. I'll be watching those levels of supports because we're starting to see the 4-hour contracting, and also because we have that gap to fill still. So there's a good chance if Nvidia loses that 119 support, we could be coming back down here towards 115, the previous resistance becoming support as well, this level right here, before it tries to bounce again. So I'll be watching that very carefully. If we end up losing key supports, I'll be watching. For Bitcoin, we have a head and shoulders like structure. We could actually continue to fall towards the 68,500 area if we fail to hold above 69,500. So we have to try to get back above 69,500. Otherwise, Bitcoin will drop to 68,500. For a few more, let me just double check this. We also have Tesla. Tesla's trading within a range. It's kind of dipping a bit this morning. It's actually down 0.5%. We could actually retest 175. Then I think that's going to try to rebound again. We're still range bound. We have 173 to 174 support. And we have 180 as our resistance area. We could dip a little bit first before we try to rebound. So look for a test of 175 to 174 before it tries to rebound back up. I'll be watching to see a little dip before we try to bounce, and that's going to be key for how we end up moving. For the QQQ, this is also dipping a bit. So the 4 hours showing contraction. To me, it looks to me like we're going to be testing 460 very soon on the QQQ. So I see a little dip coming with the bearish divergence. That is very probable in my personal opinion. Apple pushed all the way up to about 198. If we do reject here, if we fail to break 198, I'll be looking for a dip back down to about 196. Might dip a little bit on Apple before it tries to rebound, but overall, it's still holding up well. It's still on an uptrend despite that. So I'll be watching this just to be safe. Just for a few more, we have Coinbase. Coin is dipping a bit. It failed to get a breakout. So if we do try to get back above 246, we could turn bullish. If we lose 238, we turn bearish. I think we're going to be testing 238. We'll see if we lose that or not. So I'll be watching that very carefully. For Amazon, we're also kind of dipping on the 4-hour. If we rebound a bit, we'll be trying to break past 185, and that could lead to more upside. If we reject here, we'll be dipping all the way down to 182.5 and then lower levels. I think there's a risk of this dipping all the way down to 182.5. For Meta, we're kind of starting to downtrend just a bit. We could be approaching the 488 area, and if that fails, this will be dipping all the way down to lower levels like 485 or so. So I see potential for a dip all the way down to 488, and I find that to be very probable. So we'll just have to see how things end up going from here. Now, last two will be Amzn and GameStop. GameStop is just shuffling right now. Break 32, and we could actually try to rebound to 38. If we lose 28.7 and fail to hold above that, we could be dipping all the way down to 23. So lose 28, we're bearish. Break 32, we're bullish. Otherwise, we're just stuck in the range. AMC has the same thing. Break 5.08. 5.08 and we could be bullish. If we lose 4.88, we turn bearish. We have a gap to fill below. So we'll just have to wait and see how things end up going, at least from here. But I just want to make it very clear that's what I'm seeing, at least for the market moving forward. So I'll be watching every single one of these ranges and these important levels for now. So, anyways, guys, the market's in a very, very critical place. We'll see if we get a little dip or not. Even if we do get a small dip, it's not the end of the world because the market could still get bought back up. But I'm seeing a contraction on the 4-hour and a risk of drops on the QQQ and SPY. So I'll be watching just to see how things go. This could also drag Tesla down a bit, but the market could get bought back up later as we have more catalysts coming. All right. So for today at 11:30 a.m., watch for volatility from the 3-month and 6-month bill auctions. And besides that, all the data is very minor for the rest of the day. Things become more serious on Wednesday when you have FOMC and CPI and such. So I'll talk more about that later. But until then, thank you all so much for listening. I hope you guys have an absolutely incredible rest of the day. I hope you guys take care and get ready for what the market's about to do. And I'll be back once again in just about a couple of hours, maybe in about 1 to 1.5 hours. I should be back. I'll be busy for that period, but until then, I'll see you guys very, very soon, at least on the next one. All right. So this is going to be the start of a crazy week. By the way, for data, Monday and Tuesday are going to be kind of minor, but then Wednesday and Thursday, and even parts of Friday are going to be pretty crazy. I would say Wednesday and Thursday are the two crazy days, especially Wednesday. So until then, I'll see you guys very soon and peace out.